Hey guys, it's Tiny Tom Logan back with another video for you, and today we're going to be taking a look at another one of the GTX560 448 cores, but this time it's the humongous DCU2 from Asus. Humongous triple slot card. But anyway, I think really it's time I shush and we just get on. Right then peeps, time for a good up close look at the card. Now, as you can see, this thing is absolutely enormous. It's triple slot, and it's massive. It's most definitely like the beefiest 560 448 I've seen, but then again all the DCU2 stuff is enormous. It's also got a really nice looking back plate, which none of the other 560s have had. Or none of these ones anyway, but this really does look the part. It just makes the back of the card again just look really burly. It's definitely got that kind of rugged, kind of hardcore feel. Without that on it, not being funny, you'd think that this was a 570, or even at a quick glance you could be, you know, excuse me, you wouldn't be frowned upon for thinking that it could even be something like a 580 in there, because it's so big you wouldn't expect it to be one of the lower end cards. If I turn it around that way, now normally I'd be taking this type of thing apart, but I really don't want to with this. You can see that we've got two DVIs, a HDMI and a full-size display port there. You can see these monster cutouts, but not really a massive amount of air does come out the back. Most of it ends up sort of hitting, coming inside the case and just going with the airflow. It's still only got two 6-pin powers on it. But there we go. Quick look at the Asus GTX560 Ti DIrect CUII, or DCU2, however you want to pronounce it. But certainly looks the part. But let's take a look at it in the system. Just thought I'd give you a quick look at the card in the actual rig, because it certainly does look the part. As you can see, it's that 3 slots makes it look huge. I'm just going to zoom you in a little bit more so you can have a bit of a better look, but it really does look massive in there. So yeah, I do like the look of it in there, I've got to admit. Especially if you were like building a rig for a show or something like that, and you know you wanted it to be on air or something, do you know what I mean? And within a price, yeah, it's one of the burlier looking 560 448s, just because of the size of that heatsink. So yeah, aesthetically it is very pleasing. But it's got to be time for us now to move on with some benchmarks. Right then peeps, on to the 3D Mark benches. Obviously these are both the P scores, and we got a P score of 21,908 for 3D Mark Vantage, and a P score of 5,608 for 3D Mark 11. Now I'm not going to go into too much about comparing this with the other cards and everything to start off with, but you can always go back and look at the other videos, and obviously click the link underneath and go and look at the main review on Overclock 3D. But we're going to wrap all this up in the conclusion as we normally would. But for now I'm going to stop the video quickly, and I'm going to get on and do the extreme tests. Right then peeps, on to the 3D Mark X scores, and we've got 11,064 on the 3D Mark Vantage score, and 1,748, so 1,748 on 3D Mark 11. I do believe it's time now for us to crack on and get a Unigine running quickly. Right then peeps, on to heaven. So frames per second 44, the score is 1109. We had a minimum frames per second of 25.3 with a maximum frames per second of 105.6. this was with heaven literally just opened and run, made no changes whatsoever to it. You can see all the settings and the hardware and everything there anyway. But yeah, time now to nip on quickly and do a little bit of gameplay.
Prisoners who likely succumbed to the same malnourishment and mistreatment that was endured by the survivors. More on this tragic revelation as it unfolds. For Press Radio News, I'm Lowell Harris.
This guy's a maniac. You gotta take him down. 10-4.
the hell's going on? Shit. Wake up, people! People, wake up for Christ's sake! What is, wake up, Boris! Shit, it's no good. Ah! Oh God! Ah! Shoot them! You shoot! Come on! Wake up! Save me! Artyom, take my shotgun! Here! Help! Save me, Artyom! Save me! Conserve the ammo, Artyom! Conserve the ammo! Help! We're almost at the roadblock! Just a little bit left, come on! Save me! Ah! What the hell just happened here?
Right then, guys, conclusion. I'm going to tell you the award and then I'll explain to you why. It's a bit of a confusing one, this one, but I will try my very best. Going to give it a silver award. Now, I gave the the Gigabyte originally a silver and the MSI. We obviously bumped the MSI up because the MSI, when we changed the drivers and buggered about with it, it overclocked like a madman. The Asus definitely trumps the Gigabyte on pretty much every level. An overclock's better, it's cooler, it's quieter, but it doesn't quite compete with the MSI Power Edition card. And one of the things that I find confusing is this card's massive, and you'd expect it to be cool and quiet because of that, massive girth. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't really at all. And it is quite confusing because you instantly think, because it's this big and burly, that, it would perform better. I almost think that they're doing this now because people like the look of them in their case and they think they're going to be better. I mean, the back plate and the massive cooler and everything does look, it really does look the part. Just with this, it didn't really, perform as well as you'd expect it to, considering the way it looks. Like I said, it was definitely better than the Gigabyte. It just didn't really come close to the MSI version, so it kind of sits nicely in between. But the thing is what I would say with the like this one and the Gigabyte is the fact that the pricing and the performance doesn't really, it's too close to the 560, and I would honestly say that with this 560, 448, as with the Gigabyte, you're probably better off either saving a bit of money and just getting a 560, or spending a little bit more money and then getting a 570. Now, I'm not telling you to go to a specific brand. If you're looking at this Asus card, maybe get the Asus 570 version instead, because these are a little bit, confusing because they sit so precisely in between the other two that it's almost not really worth spending a little bit more money than the 560 to get this, but it's definitely worth, confusingly enough, to spend more money from the 560 to go up to the 570. Especially if you're overclocking, I would 100% say either one or the other, because it is a very, very kind of confusing price point for me to try and get over to you. If this card overclocks better, then I would say that it would probably be better off sticking with this, but it doesn't. It was definitely quicker than the Gigabyte as far as overclocking is concerned. We got it up to 860 in total, but that still, it wasn't, it wasn't ever going to set the world alight with speed, and it was kind of, yeah, it really is a difficult one with this one. Really like the look of the card. You know, single massive cooler like that is always going to make even like a basic system look, you know, like it's packing us some serious punch. But that's all it is. I think this card is really, it's just another 560 448. Doesn't really deliver any mind-blowing or, you know, benchmark blowing results, but it looks like it should do. So if you're looking for a 560 448 that's going to look like you've got some crazy 580 in your rig, then this is probably the one for you. But if you're actually looking for something that's going to perform really well, I would honestly tell you to just get a 570 instead. So I'm going to leave that there, because I think this is probably one of the shortest conclusions I've ever done in history, and I've actually managed to get the point across. Maybe the fact it was so confusing made it really simple. I have no idea. But anyway, make sure you hang around, because I'm going to put some outtakes at the end, because it's been quite confusing. Yeah, it's been quite good trying to film this. Shut up. Anyway, this is Tiny Tom Logan with another video for you. Out. Hello. That's on the outtakes. Hey guys, it's Tiny Tom Logan, back with a conclusion for you. Right, anyway. Back with the conclusion of the Asus 560 448 DC2.